In this video, I'll show you how to highlight words, circle letters, and make keywords in Crossword Compiler. So here we have a grid. I might want to highlight particular letters or particular solution words. If I want to select a word, I can drag the cursor and select it. And if I want to then change how it appears, I can use square properties. So this icon, square properties, on the toolbar. So for example, I can change the background color for the words, or I could change the foreground color or make it bold or italic, and then you can determine whether you want it to appear in the puzzle or in the solution. So here, formats in puzzle will mean that if I view the puzzle, this is a colored background. If I also wanted, for example, Eve to appear in the puzzle with some hint letters, I could go and select letter visible in puzzle. If I then also wanted to change the format of that in the solution, I could click format in solution. I'll just leave that off for the moment. So letter visible in puzzle, if I now go to puzzle, you should see those three letters now appear. So likewise, you can set the solution ones if you want to see things in the solution. You can also circle letters. Let's say I want to circle this letter R for some reason. So here I can just select the circle button, and then the square will be circled. So you will see the circle, which will appear in the puzzle. Now, quite often you're circling particular letters to spell out some other word. So in Crossword Compiler, that's called a keyword. So if you wanted to make a word from a set of separate squares, each of which is circled, the way to do that is to use this pencil icon on the toolbar. Mouse marks keywords. If I select that, I can then click on the letters in the grid that I want to be part of my keyword. So I hold down the Control key and then click with the mouse. So Control plus left click. So here I could say, let's select P, U, Z, Z, L, E, puzzle. If I release the Control key, that shows me my keyword, puzzle. If you want to, you can change the formatting of the answer. So if I want it to be, I could change it to puzzle lowercase. And this is going to be circled in the puzzle by default. You can also make it circled in the solution if you want to. So if I select close, I then have my 6 squares all circled and linked. If you want to check these, you can go to Words, Keywords, and this will show you any keywords you've selected. So the difference between circling squares individually and making a keyword is that the keyword can then be shown when you print the puzzle and can be used to enter the keyword. For example, if I go to File, Print, I can opt to include the code grid. So that will make a little extra grid for inserting the letters in the keyword. So if I go to Preview, you can see that I've now got the grid with my circled letters, but these 6 letters correspond to these 6 squares here, so that the keyword can be entered as these letters are found. This will also work if you export an interactive web puzzle. So I go to Web Export, Export to Files, and just export with default settings to a web page, and then view it. You'll see that beneath the grid, I have the slots here for the keyword. So if I type a P in this slot in the grid, it will automatically appear in the keyword slots under the grid. So that allows you for the solver to find some extra word that you've hidden in the puzzle shown by the circled letters as the keyword. If you want to have numbered circled letters, you can do that as well. So for example, if I go to Square Properties on this E, I can circle it. And if I wanted to put some custom number, I can now add a custom number. So for example, I could put a top right text here as being A, and then you'd have A labeling your circled letter. And that will then appear as a special extra letter in this puzzle. If you want to show something only in the solution to highlight some letters, you can do that in square properties as well. So I select these letters and go to square properties. I could set formats in solution. Then there would be no visual hint in the puzzle itself, but when you show the solution, you might want to show that these are special letters by showing them in a special color or some different background or in bold. So now if I look at the puzzle, it looks exactly normal, but then in the solution, you get them highlighted as selected in square properties. The other use for the keyword feature, this pencil arrow, is for creating word searches. So you'd circle words in a word search, but you can also use that in a puzzle if you want to. So for example, if I wanted to emphasize oat, instead of circling them separately, I could have this grid here and then just drag the cursor over it to make a word search like loop around those letters, and then that would appear in my list of keywords. That message was warning you that you can't have more than one keyword below the grid. There's nothing to stop you circling the letters in the grid, as I have done here. If you want to get rid of it, you can just recircle the letters. Square properties can also be used to do more clever formatting. So for example, you can add a background picture to a square if you want to, and make rebus puzzles, but that will be a topic for a separate video.